Vygotsky once said, "In play, a child is always above his average age, above his daily behavior. In play, it is as though he were a head taller than himself." In this quote, Vygotsky acknowledges the importance of play in a child's life and how it aids children in accelerating their development socially and cognitively. However, he does not illustrate the impact of play on a person throughout their lifetime. In my presentation today, I will be discussing the impacts of play-based learning throughout a person's life. One of the most interesting things about play as just a term or activity is that it can't necessarily be defined by one simple definition. Play looks like a lot of different things to a lot of different types of people. And so for a child, for example, Legos and building things or playing with dolls or having imaginary friends would be play. And for a teenager or an adult even, video games look like play or gambling looks like play. And you have all of these different activities that fall under the umbrella of play that can all be cognitively and socially stimulating for a person and beneficial to their development. Early childhood is often characterized as one of the most rapid times of development in a person's life, and to aid and assist this process, the role of play has been introduced all over the world as a lucrative way to guide children through cognitive milestones. For example, Wolfgang in 2001 analyzed the correlation between playing with blocks in early education and future performance in high school mathematics in a longitudinal quantitative study. He found that at the high school level, there's a correlation between block performance and more difficult math courses taken, more honors courses taken, and higher grades. He also found that there wasn't necessarily a visible sign of improvement with standardized testing until the 7th grade, but from then on you could see a positive outcome with the students' math prowess. To continue, adolescence is characterized by an overwhelming amount of brain development as well, and it also includes the emotional fragility that comes from adolescent egocentrism. It is characterized by the format of identity. And what is strikingly different from early childhood and adolescence is the type of play that children engage in or that adolescents engage with during this time period. Instead of Legos, it looks like video games or, more social sports like soccer or football instead of, playing in the home with a bunch of blocks. One example of play-based learning being implemented in a classroom can be examined in a study that took place in Nanjing, China, where Zhu studied 2 classes over the course of their world history class. In this case control study, Zhu hypothesized that one class that had a computer game-based learning platform would perform better than the class with a standard curriculum. There were 103 participants, and each class was taught by the same teacher. And after collecting the data, Zhu confirmed his hypothesis that students who interacted with game-based learning reached better achievement goals than the standard class. This comparative study was highlighted incredibly how impactful interactive game-based learning is in comparison to a lecture-based classroom. And it also demonstrates that that play-based learning is a cross-cultural development and that it is impactful for all kinds of people from different cultures. Though most studies refer to the benefits of play with children and adolescents, resources usually neglect the benefits and effects that play-based learning has on adults. And obviously education changes a lot depending on who you are as an adult. You can either go straight into the workforce or go into college, and it looks very different. But even then, play-based learning in the workplace or even in like older adult education can be incredibly impactful. You can see the impact of computer-based games in a study where 34 people were split into 2 groups. One played solitaire, the other played brain training computer games, and after a 21-day intervention, it was quantitatively seen that there was an improvement in the game-based players with processing speed when responding to simple and complex stimuli. We can observe here that even though there may be a generational gap with the computer, playing games on the computer can actually be incredibly impactful even for older adults. And though the type of play that they might be used to is definitely different, computer games can be equally as impactful in play as a general umbrella can be very impactful when it's dedicated towards education. Overall, I truly believe that with enough studies implemented to show across the board that play based learning is beneficial, the studies that I have been researching and speaking about have led me to the belief that play based learning is impactful for everyone, not just children or adolescents. And play can look like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And so when it's self directed and when someone is able to engage in some sort of academic media, they're able to help themselves cognitively and developmentally. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Keep playing and stay safe. Have a good one.